Hello.
Welcome to the Freddy Fazbear Virtual Experience. Fazbear Entertainment is excited to join the digital age, and what better way to do that than with an edge-of-your-seat virtual reality experience. We know that Fazbear Entertainment has developed something of a bad reputation over the last few decades, and while it's true that some stories associated with our name were loosely based on actual events, the majority of them were total fabrications from the mind of a complete lunatic, lawsuits pending. But we aren't above laughing at ourselves. Ha ha ha. That's why we have recreated many of these completely fictitious scenarios, lies that you've been fed over the last several years, into a hilarious VR game, in the hopes that we can finally move past these childish ghost stories and develop a new relationship with you, as well as your kids. Don't forget the merch, perfect for birthdays. So sit back and enjoy a few scares. We do, however, ask that you agree to a simple waiver before you play. It's mostly just legal mumbo-jumbo and isn't at all based on user experiences thus far or injuries associated with testing. Just touch the button to agree, and then we can jump right into some harmless fun that can't harm you at all in any harmful way. Thank you for playing the Freddy Fazbear Virtual Experience. You acknowledge that Fazbear Entertainment is not responsible for accidental digital consciousness transference, real-world manifestations of digital characters, nightmares, night terrors, night sweats. Welcome to the Freddy Fazbear Virtual Experience. Use the console in front of you to navigate the menu and pick one of the frightening experiences available. By completing these scenarios, more will become available. You'll see plenty of familiar faces and some new ones as well. So stay a while and have a good time. And remember, despite the temporary horror you may experience, this is a completely controlled environment and you aren't in any real danger. Fazbear Entertainment not responsible for real danger. Please make a selection from the virtual menu.
Hello? Can you hear me? Don't exit this room, okay? This isn't a mistake.
Is glitch trap
this
here?
This room isn't a mistake. I had to hide these logs away from the core gameplay files, in a place that only a beta tester would look, and in a place where the files could be protected. I just really hope that the next development team finds this before the game is released to the public. This game has some kind of malicious code in it that we haven't been able to fully contain or even understand for that matter. We're over budget and out of time. But that's not the reason that we're shutting down. Listen, I have to keep this short so the file size will be small enough to fly under the radar. There are more. They may not be in order.
Blah 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 blah.
I saw it for the first time today. There was a character I couldn't make out who it was, standing at the end of the hall. I thought it was just bugged out, so I made a note of it and kept playing. But then it was looking in the window, and not like Chica or Bonnie would. It was like it was actually looking in the window, seeing what I was doing.
Congratulations! It appears you have been granted access to additional holiday content. Press the special button in the candy pail to enter the Halloween Hub. Keep in mind that this DLC pack is nothing more than a festive holiday-themed add-on, which has absolutely no hidden intent or purpose. So, have fun!
Hiya there, Mimic. Donty, stick your head out the left hallway.
Your first night. I actually worked in that office before you. I'm finishing up my last week now, as a matter of fact, so I know it can be a bit overwhelming, but I'm here to tell you there's nothing to worry about. You'll do fine. So let's just focus on getting you through your first week, okay? Let's see. First, there's an introductory greeting from the company that I'm supposed to read. It's kind of a legal thing, you know. Welcome to Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, a magical place for kids and grown-ups alike, where fantasy and fun come to life. Fazbear Entertainment is not responsible for damage to property or person. Upon discovering that damage or death has occurred, a missing person report will be filed within 90 days or as soon as property and premises have been thoroughly cleaned and bleached and the carpets have been replaced. Blah, blah, blah. Now, that might sound bad, I know, but there's really nothing to worry about. The animatronic characters here do get a bit quirky at night, but do I blame them? No. If I were forced to sing those same stupid songs for 20 years and I never got a bath, I'd probably be a bit irritable at night, too. So remember, these characters hold a special place in the hearts of children, and we need to show them a little respect, right? Okay. So just be aware, the characters do tend to wander a bit. They're left in some kind of free roaming mode at night. Something about their servos locking up when they get turned off for too long. They used to be allowed to walk around during the day, too. But then there was the bite of 87. Yeah. It's amazing that the human body can live without the frontal lobe.
What no honk, unbelievable.
Now, concerning your safety, the only real risk to you as a night watchman there, if any, is the fact that these characters, if they happen to see you after hours, probably
was
won't
that the bite of
recognize you as a
87?
person. They'll most likely see you as a metal endoskeleton without its costume on. Now, since that's against the rules here at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, they'll probably try to forcefully stuff you inside a Freddy Fazbear suit. Now, that wouldn't be so bad if the suits themselves weren't filled with cross beams, wires, and animatronic devices, especially around the facial area. So you can imagine how you would take forcefully inside the discomfort. And the only parts of you that would likely see the light of day again would be your eyeballs. Yeah, they don't tell you these things when you sign up. But hey, First Station agrees. I'll chat with you tomorrow. Check those cameras. And
Why is Foxy humming on night one?
Absolutely necessary. Gotta conserve power. Alright, good night.
Bonnie. We should do parts and service next. Present.
Congratulations!
Baby.
It appears you have been granted access to additional holiday content. Press the special button in the candy pane.
You thought you could escape the clown? No, you didn't.
Welcome back to Parts and Service. Oh no, great job. Deposit well done. Now, firmly grip Bonnie's right eye and carefully remove it from its socket. Deposit the right eye. Good job. To open Bonnie's faceplate, well done. You now have access to Bonnie's harmonization module. Press the blinking button. Something is not right. One of those notes is out of tune. You may push the button again. Press the blinking button again to verify your work. Great job. Bonnie is in tune and ready for his solo. Let's close him up. Simply replace both eyes in the same order. Well done. That concludes your parts and services task. See you next time.
What about a tape? Was there one in there?
Congratulations! It appears you have been granted access to additional holiday content. Press the special button in the candy
That's
pail to
David
enter the
Asprey.
Halloween hub. Welcome back to Parts and Service. There have been customer complaints about Chica's acrid smell. Sounds like Chica has been rummaging around the kitchen again. Remove all food particles from Chica's exterior and place it in the refuse bin on your right. Good job. Make sure Chica is not hiding any other treats inside her beak. To open her, oh no, it looks like avoid inhaling the chemi spray. Exposure to cleaning, disinfecting, and maintenance chemicals may result in respiratory problems, skin, or eye irritation. Good job. Now reattach Chica. Well done. Oh no, it looks like Chica needs another dose of the chemi spray. Do not let the infestation spread. Be sure to give the canister button another push. Return the cupcake to Chica's plate. Return the cupcake to Chica's plate. Place the cupcake on the plate. Please place the cupcake on the plate. Great job. Chica is ready to serve pizza and hugs to the kids again. Take a complimentary slice of pizza for a job well done. Delicious. See you next time.
It is bonbon all over again.
Congratulations! It appears you have been granted access to additional holiday content. Press the special button in the candy pail to enter. Welcome back to Parts and Service. It looks like one of our guests left a personal item on our star attraction. Let's return it to the Lost and Found.
Just eat metal emoji frowning face
Carefully
with open
grab
mouth.
and remove. Freddy, good job. Now place the hat in. While we're at it, let's make sure there isn't anything else stuck inside. To access Freddy's chest cavity, grab Freddy's bow tie and put. Well done. Freddy's chest cavity is now open. Remove the child's watch and place it in the Lost and Found bin. Be careful not to touch any of Freddy's sensitive wiring.
The Abyss. It is cold and it is dark. Taking hold of a spark. They sealed us away, they were keeping us safe, but as years came to age, there's a hole in the arc full of circuits and screen. Stupendous reference. Stupendium, I mean. Some people banned me from my friend's DC server just BC I swore as a joke. Like TF. Also hi emoji smiling face with hearts. Welcome to the Freddy Fazbear virtual experience. Fazbear Entertainment is excited to join the digital age, and what better way to do that?
Welcome back to Parts and Service. It looks like one of our guests left a personal item on our star attraction. Let's return it to the Lost and Found. Welcome back to Parts and Service. It looks like one of our guests, Fred. Good job. Now placed while we're at it, let's make sure there isn't anything else stuck inside. To access Freddy's chest cavity, grab Freddy's boat. Good job. It appears there is a child's shoe wedged behind Freddy's. Carefully place the music box on the work table. Great job. Now, remove the child's shoe and place it in the Lost and Found bin. Well done. Return the music box to Freddy's chest cavity. Oh no! You seem to have mishandled Freddy. A slow and even pace is recommended. A slow and even pace is Crisis averted. To close Freddy's chest cavity, that concludes your time in Parts and Service. Your pay will be docked accordingly. Congratulations! It appears you have been granted access to additional holiday content. Welcome back to Parts and Service. Foxy has been out of commission for quite some time. This series of simple repairs should return him to full working condition. First, carefully pick up and place Foxy's head on his endoskeleton. Oh no, it looks like Foxy's proprietary servo motors are malfunctioning. It is recommended that you keep an eye on Foxy at all times. You will need to place new control fuses in the exposed receptacles to continue. Retrieve the fuse from drawer number 1 that matches Foxy's leg receptacle. Good job. Foxy has regained control of his legs. A gentle reminder, it is recommended that you keep an eye on Foxy at all times. Well done. The remaining chest fuses are located in drawers number 2 and number 4. Fix both fuses to continue. Good job. Retrieve Foxy's eye from drawer number 3. When Foxy's eye patch is fully open, place the eye back into his eye socket. Well done. This concludes all your parts and service tasks. Pirate Cove can now be reopened. Congratulations! It appears you have been granted access to additional holiday content. Press the special button in the candy pail to enter the Halloween hub. Keep in mind that this DLC pack is nothing more than a festive holiday-themed add-on. No hidden intent or purpose. So, have fun!
Everyone still here?
won't talk quite as long this time since Freddy and his friends tend to become more active as the week progresses. It might be a good idea to peek at those cameras while I talk, just to make sure everyone's in their proper place, you know. Interestingly enough, Freddy himself doesn't come on stage very often. I've heard he becomes a lot more active in the dark, though, so hey, I guess that's one more reason not to run out of power, right? I also want to emphasize the importance of using your door light for blind spots in your camera view. And those blind spots have to be right outside your doors. So if you can't find something or someone on your cameras, be sure to check the door light. You might only have a few seconds to react. Not that you would be in any danger, of course. I'm not implying that. Also, check on the curtain in Pirate Cove from time to time. The character in there seems to be unique in that he becomes more active if the cameras remain off for long periods of time. I guess he doesn't like being watched. I don't know. Anyway, I'm sure you have everything under control. Talk to you soon.
Congratulations! It appears you have been granted access to additional holiday content. Press the special button in the candy pail to enter the Halloween Hub. Keep in mind that this DLC pack is nothing more than a festive holiday-themed add-on. No hidden...
Hello and welcome to your new summer job at the new and improved Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. I'm here to talk you through some of the things you can expect to see during your first week here and to help you get started down this new and exciting career path. Now, I want you to forget anything you may have heard about the old location, you know. Some people still have a somewhat negative impression of the company. That old restaurant was kind of left to rot for quite a while, but I want to reassure you, Fazbear Entertainment is committed to family fun and above all, safety. They've spent a small fortune on these new animatronics. Facial recognition, advanced mobility, they even let them walk around during the day. Isn't that neat? But most importantly, they're all tied into some kind of criminal database so they can detect a predator a mile away. Heck, we should be paying them to guard you. Now that being said, no new system is without its kinks. You're only the second guard to work at that location. The first guy finished his week but complained about conditions. We switched him over to the day shift. So, hey, lucky you, right? Mainly he expressed concern that certain characters seemed to move around at night and even attempted to get into his office. Now, from what we know, that should be impossible. That restaurant should be the safest place on Earth. So while our engineers don't really have an explanation for this, the working theory is that the robots were never given a proper night mode. So when it gets quiet, they think they're in the wrong room. So then they go try to find where the people are, and in this case, that's your office. So our temporary solution is this. There's a music box over by the prize counter, and it's rigged to be wound up remotely. So just every once in a while, switch over to the prize counter video feed and wind it up for a few seconds. It doesn't seem to affect all of the animatronics, but it does affect one of them. And as for the rest of them, we have an even easier solution. You see, there may be a minor glitch in the system, something about the robot seeing you as an endoskeleton without its costume on and wanting to stuff you into a suit. So hey, we've given you an empty Freddy Fazbear head. Problem solved. You can put it on any time and leave it on for as long as you want. Eventually anything that wandered in will wander back out. Something else worth mentioning is kind of the quirky modern design of the building. You may have noticed there are no doors for you to close. But hey, you have light, and even though your flashlight can run out of power, the building cannot. So don't worry about the place going dark. Well, I think that's it. You should be golden. Check the lights, put on the Freddy head if you need to. Keep the music box wound up. Piece of cake. Have a good night, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.